Good morning, everyone. Today we are continuing working on the equations of a circle. Today we're just going to have a few added extra steps. So if you recall from yesterday, the equation of a circle when you graph it is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where hk is your center and r is your radius. So we will still be given the center today, but instead of being given the radius, you might be given the area or the circumference or the diameter. So what you do is you still look at your center and you're going to label it HK and plug that in. I'm going to get x minus 0 squared plus y minus 16 squared equals. And I want it to equal r squared, but I don't know what r is. I just know that I have the area. Well, I do know that the area formula is equal to pi r squared, so I can set pi r squared equal to the area, which is 9 pi. The pi's will cancel out. You'll get r squared equals 9, or r is the square root of 9, which is 3. So you plug in 3 for your radius, and then you square it for your equation. To fully simplify the equation, x minus 0 is just x squared, y minus 16 cannot be simplified, and 3 squared is 9. Now you're also asked to solve for the area and the circumference. So the area was already given to us. It was 9 pi, and the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. We said that the radius was equal to 3, so 2 pi times 3, or the circumference is equal to 6 pi. And you fully answered that question. Now these problems are from your worksheet, so I just did number 1 for you, and I'm going to let you try number 2 on your own. Now I'm going to hop on down to question number 5. And again, I'm still having my center, so I'm still going to label it HK. I'm going to plug it in, x minus h, so x minus 12 squared, plus y minus k, or y minus a negative 14 squared, equals, and I need it to equal r squared. But this time I'm given the circumference, which is 4 pi. And the circumference is also equal to 2 pi r. So setting those two equal to each other, I see that 4 would equal 2r, or the radius would equal 2. So r squared would be 2 squared. I want to simplify. X minus 12 can't be simplified, but y minus a negative can turn into y plus 14, and 2 squared is 4. Now again, it asks you to solve for the circumference and radius. Your circumference was given as 4 pi, and your area is pi r squared. We said that the radius was 2, so pi 2 squared, or 4 pi. So if you notice, this one's kind of cool because the circumference and the area have the same numerical value. That's pretty neat. You also might see this on a graph, and what you need to do is you need to find the center. What I usually do to find the center, if you can't eyeball it, is I'll draw the lines perpendicular to each other, and where they cross, right here, is going to be your center. So your center is at negative 2, 3. And again, I'm going to label that h and k and plug in. X minus h would be x minus negative 2 squared plus y minus k, so y minus 3 squared, equals, it needs to equal r squared. So my radius is from the center point to any one of the edges. Now be super careful, because if you look, even though you're hopping what looks like 2 coordinates, you're going from negative 2 to negative 1, which is just a distance of 1, so your radius here is 1. Simplify your equation. You have minus and negative, so that turns into plus. You have y minus 3 staying the same, and 1 squared is just 1. To find the area, you would do pi r squared, which would equal 1 pi. To find the circumference, you would equal 2 pi r, which would equal 2 pi. And lastly, you might be given the equation and need to sketch the graph. So here is my h and here is my k. If it's x minus h, that means h is equal to positive 3, and k would be equal to positive 2, so my center is at 3, 2. My radius, well, r squared is equal to 4, So r would equal 2. So now I'm going to count 2 in any direction. I have here, 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 and here, because I counted 2 right, 2 left, 2 down, 2 up. Connect them. It doesn't need to be beautiful. And there's your circle. And then it asks again for the area and circumference. Well, I know my area is equal to pi r squared. So my area is equal to pi 2 squared, which is equal to 4 pi. And I know my circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So 2 pi times 2, which is again equal to 4 pi. And that is it. Let your teacher know if you have any questions.